Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be featuring the Östergötland, and I have pretty much been playing this ship
Show me
non-stop.
Warships.
As of right now, the highest known damage record for this ship is around 150,000 damage, and in this game I topped that by about 100,000. I end up with 251,000, which is going to be the current damage record. And I'm curious to see how long it will take for someone else to beat the record, because after all, records are set to be broken. But with this record, I will be the current holder of 4 total records. Anyway, going on to this video, we are on hotspot, and we have the Bravo spawn, and as a destroyer, I decide to push into the cap to contest. There is an enemy ship
Engine boost
within the cap,
activated.
and it could only be another destroyer considering how quickly it got here.
Enemy
I
force
do
sighted
spot
on the
an enemy
horizon.
battleship, so I am going to trying to see if
Fire on
I
the
can
enemy
get an
warship.
angle to torpedo those battleships, since they are pretty much
All
going to
forces
be
provide
turning
cover for
in
that
and
target.
bowing into the cap. Especially with these narrow spread torpedoes, the chances of you actually landing some torpedoes from the bow of battleships are fairly high. I'm assuming here that the Massachusetts will continuously push into the
All
cap,
stations
trying to
requesting fire on
support
the
their
designated
lightning
target.
since our Suzuya
Concentrate
has
fire on the
pushed
designated
aggressively into
target.
the cap, and he is going to try and protect them. So I launched
Nice work.
torpedoes, and
Concentrate
they
fire on
were
the enemy
also dual
warship.
purpose, considering that there is also a Montana behind him that was moving fairly slowly. And the Montana does start to turn in pretty much where I had aimed them. Unfortunately, the Massachusetts made a slight turn to the left and pretty
All
much
stations
stopped, so those
concentrate
torps
fire on the
are going
target.
to miss him, and they are spotted, so the Montana has time to dodge. I am going to land a torpedo. Unfortunately, the torpedo did not flood the Montana, so I'm not going to really be able to try and farm him with my main guns to set multiple fires that will continuously burn. Their lightning does start running away from our Suzuya, and our Suzuya does start chasing him. I'm not sure why the Suzuya had waited so long, since he decided to push in now. But either way, he does start pushing him, so I need to try and help him kill off the lightning.
Enemy destroyer
And
detected.
the lightning is spotted by the Suzuya sonar, and since the lightning smoked up, I can farm and shoot at this
Engine boost
lightning without getting
deactivated.
spotted by the Massachusetts or Montana. He
Enemy
does
battleship
go
detected.
unspotted again, and he does get away. I do land a torpedo on the Massachusetts, although this Montana is pretty much charging straight at our Suzuya, which is on a very low HP, and I don't expect our Suzuya to survive much longer. So I'm going to try and get into a position to torpedo this Montana if he continues to drive towards our Suzuya. Somehow our Suzuya does get to
Concentrate
dump
fire on the
both sets of
designated target.
torpedoes, and he does land one on the Montana, and he is flooding and his engine is actually incapacitated, so he's not going to be able to slow down to dodge those torpedoes. The enemy lightning actually ended up dying a little while ago, so now my job is much easier.
We
I land
destroyed
2
an enemy
torpedoes on that
battleship.
Montana and kill him off. But now there is a Massachusetts that has pushed into the cap, and there is also an Azuma that is behind him coming into the cap as well. Our friendly battleship that spawned with us went around the outside, and now he is just parked stationary broadside to the Massachusetts and Azuma. So I'm not expecting our Montana to survive much longer. I do have a friendly
Approach the
battleship
Allied
coming
target.
in from the middle of the map,
Acknowledged.
and he will be my only support since this Montana just
Concentrate
wants to
fire on
die
the
and go back
designated
to
target.
port. And now I am trying to get torpedo angles on this Massachusetts. I am playing this fairly dangerously coming into this part of the cap, because if this Massachusetts goes forward, I will pretty much be stuck between an island and the Massachusetts. But what I decide to do here is actually go towards the Massachusetts and try to use a different island to stay concealed and using it as cover. The torpedoes that I launch at the Massachusetts were again the super narrow spread, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to land at least one torpedo on him, which I do, but it does not cause a flood. And now I just try to use this island and lob some shells over and see if I can start a fire. I am seeing that my rear turrets are in fact going over the island, but since our Montana died, there is nothing spotting this Massachusetts. And since I have a lot of HP left, I reverse out and spot and shoot him myself. I am able to get a fire on him, and the enemy Azuma is just charging straight in right at our Monarch, who is also charging straight in. And I know right now, since I am on sonar, this Azuma is going to be getting ready to shoot at me. So I need to try and take him out, just in case he does try to ram our friendly Monarch. And with these torpedoes being so fast at this range, he pretty much does not have a chance to dodge. And right now I find myself in quite a sticky spot here, not having torpedoes and this Massachusetts just charging out, and he has used his secondary button. But since I've played so many battles in the Massachusetts, I know that if I get within 1 kilometer, the secondaries actually stop shooting. Not sure why they stop shooting. I guess typically destroyers are smaller than the secondaries can actually depress their guns. So I just park up right next to the Massachusetts and his secondaries can't shoot me. And while I was charging in at this Massachusetts, I guess it looked like I was going to try to ram him. So he decided to try and focus on our Monarch and see if he can do as much damage as he possibly could, and even maybe killing him off and getting a double strike. But I actually just stop and start farming him from behind, and I do set a permafire, and we are able to kill off the Massachusetts. And now all that's left are 3 battleships that are coming up from the other side of the map. We do have a friendly cruiser that has made it all the way to the north part of the map, pretty much on the border. And there were 2 battleships that were chasing him, as we can see on the map, but we have no idea where they are since they are unspotted. And at this point I'm thinking I can try to come out here and kill this cur first while our Monarch caps, and I can keep spots on him so our Monarch can try to lob islands since there are so many to use within the cap. I did check the scoreboard to see what kind of cruiser we had left, and it was an Alaska that was on the border, and I just wanted to know, just in case it was a smoke cruiser, to see if they were unspotted because the cruiser was in smoke. But that was not the case, and we do spot the Brandenburg, and we just spot their Jean Bart. They are pretty much still somewhat chasing our Alaska, but they are also heading towards Alpha. And in the process of heading to those 2 battleships, I'm trying to kill off this cur first, and I'm able to land a bunch of torpedoes on them. And they still have a full health Jean Bart and 2 battleships that are on relatively low HP. And because I am using less is more, my torpedo reload is 63 seconds, so they will also be reloaded very shortly, and I will be able to launch another set at this cur first, and I will be able to kill him off and start heading towards our cruiser and trying to see if I can help him with these 2 battleships that have been chasing him. I launch another set of torpedoes at the cur first, and if I land enough torpedoes, they will be enough to kill the cur first. And now all we will have to deal with are these 2 battleships. They do have a points advantage, but if I'm able to kill the cur first, that points lead will be ticked closer together. And I take a quick look at where the torpedoes are, and I do in fact land enough torpedoes to kill off the cur first. And now I am trying to see where these battleships will go. I'm wondering if the Jean Bart will turn in towards Alpha in order to cap, or if he's going to keep going towards our Alaska and then go around the island to cap. So I'm just paying attention. I can see that our Alaska does not have that much HP. So I know when the Alaska dies, these ships will be turning right and trying to go around the island. So I do launch these torpedoes slightly to the right of the predictor, as I'm thinking there will be enough time for the torpedoes to reach the Jean Bart before our Alaska dies and he starts turning in. I am just being patient and waiting, and the Jean Bart does take a shot at the Alaska, and our Alaska does go down, and he does start turning right. And since I aim the second salvo a little further to the right, I am able to land many more torpedoes, and I'm able to put that Jean Bart at half HP. And now I know in order for these ships to come near the cap, which is pretty much where they would want to go, since that's the only logical place to go, I start heading to the right, trying to spot them as they come into the cap from the north side. I spot the Brandenburg, and my torpedoes are pretty much about to reload. And I do think this ship is very good since the torpedoes reload so fast, even though that the torpedoes don't do a whole lot of damage per torpedo. But this reload and being able to constantly send out torpedoes makes up for it and also makes this ship very enjoyable. I launch one set at the Brandenburg and I hold my torpedoes and trying to see if I could possibly make those second set of torpedoes do a purpose, but the Jean Bart isn't nearly close enough, and I just land torpedoes on that Brandenburg and I get a Kraken. Now I'm at 217,000 damage, and all they have left is this Jean Bart, and I am trying to see what our Monarch is doing, and I'm hoping he is an intelligent player, and he does start to angle based on the minimap when that Jean Bart shoots, so at least I know he knows how to angle, and he won't die instantly like the Montana did, who just parked broadside to a bunch of ships. And I do pretty much just park here and start reversing. There's no reason to keep moving around and making my torpedo lineups worse. Although the Jean Bart does start to slow down and pretty much slams on the brakes, and I'm thinking he wants to start reversing. And as soon as my first torpedo set gets spotted, he actually just starts going forward. And right now, the Jean Bart is actually turning his attention to me instead of our Monarch, even though he already dumped his torpedoes. But what I'm going to do is just pretty much keep shooting at him, because we do need to kill him in order to win. So I am just going to keep shooting at him and doing what I can. He did damage con a single fire, and now I just set him on a permanent fire, and I will just keep shooting at him since I feel like I have created enough space in order to keep myself alive with my 8900 HP. I set a second fire on the Jean Bart, and I do launch torpedoes pretty short because I am expecting the Jean Bart to turn in towards me, and he does, and I do get a little greedy wanting to shoot another set of torpedoes, and I do let him hit me there. Luckily I didn't die, but also my prediction of how quickly he would turn in was very good, and I land one more torpedo, securing my 6th kill. In this game I was able to do 251,646 damage, which is currently the highest damage in the Östergötland, and I did a whopping 4100 base XP, and I pretty much completed my heroic challenges on the first day. This ship is definitely going to be my favorite. I don't think there's another ship that will beat how fun this ship is to play, because you have excellent torpedoes and pretty good guns even when you're building for torpedoes. In this game, compared to the previous video I did, I am using less is more, which increases my torpedo damage, and you can see it's at 11,600, and the torpedo reload was reduced all the way down to 63 seconds. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Share with your friends. Leave a comment down below for any ships you want to see in the future. But until next time, aloha.